Come on in.
Yeah, Hank says I remind him of a great work of art. That Leonardo da Vinci, Lady with an Ermine, you know that one?
Have a seat.
Yeah, her name is Cecilia, too. Isn't that weird?
Who's Hank?
The man I'm gonna marry.
Cecil, how many times have we been through this? First there was Alfonso. He sold shoes out of the back of his car.
Those were good shoes.
Then there was Patrick. He could stand on his head and drink a beer at the same time. It's one of the primary qualifications for a good marriage.
Hank is different. Now, this time it's easier. Like neither one of us is trying too hard. Like we've known each other all our lives.
Instead of just 2 weeks.
It's been almost a year. So you'll marry us?
Cecil, you know I hate weddings. There's always these last-minute complications, the fights.
No, not this time. Please. It's a piece of cake. I promise.
Okay, Hank. 6 jobs in 6 months. Do I detect a little career ambivalence here?
I'm trying to figure out what I really want. When I was driving cabs, the people I drove, they were so unhappy. Guys with nice suits, ladies with briefcases cost more than my rent. I don't want to be that miserable. I got the love thing locked. I'll get around to the career thing.
See, I told you he was wonderful.
Okay, well, let's get back to this pre-marriage questionnaire. Hank, have you ever been married before?
No.
All right. Here's my favorite question as someone I've just met. Are you impotent? Because if you are, that could be used as grounds for annulment later on.
No, I'm not impotent.
Not impotent. You ever been convicted of a crime?
I did steal 2 rolls of Mentos from a 7-Eleven. I'm on parole now, actually.
Okay. Another personal favorite of mine. I call this the Woody Allen clause. Cecil, have you been legally adopted by Hank?
Oh, that's sick.
Okay. Guess not. And last but not least, disparity of worship. They used to call this disparity of cult.
Cult? No, I'm not in a cult.
Just means are you different religions. So, where do you go to church, Hank?
I'm Jewish, Father Ray.
Okay, we have the marriage preparation, marriage license, church date, rabbi set to co-preside, the reception, food. I think that's everything.
No, that's great. Looks like you got everything under control.
There is this one thing. We haven't told our parents.
We were kind of hoping you could.
Piece of cake, huh?
Father Ray, we have a big problem. Our parents aren't coming.
And the rabbi fell out.
Yeah, you asked them to think about it. They did, and they decided no.
The rabbi got sick. The associate rabbi doesn't do interfaith marriages. We'll never find another rabbi.
Except my father. He'll come. And he's talking to my mother, trying to convince her. Actually, really talking's not quite the right word. It's more like yelling.
Have you two considered Vegas? Eloping. It's an option.
This is never going to happen, is it?
Look, I'll talk to your parents again. I'll try and find another rabbi who will do an interfaith marriage. Don't worry. Everything will be all right. Eric! Hey, how'd you like to do a wedding this Sunday?
Oh, your Jewish Catholic marriage? Sorry, Ray, you're on your own. What makes it so hard?
A lot of things, starting with the Spanish Inquisition. Silence during the Second World War didn't help.
Well, on the other hand, if you pull it off, it'll be like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, think how that ended. Hey, have you seen Leo?
Yeah, you heard you were trying to fob off that interfaith wedding. He's long gone.
Sydney, what kind of wedding did you have?
Francis and I got married at the beach by a rabbi. We were barefoot. But, you know, my mother didn't go for the barefoot thing. She was obsessed that the guests would get sand in their shoes. So she showed up with this big box of blue surgical booties. Actually, the pictures were spectacular.
This rabbi, do you think you could get him to do a wedding with me on Sunday?
It's a very delicate situation. I don't know, Rabbi Weiss might. If he weren't dead.
Give me a rabbi, Sydney, by Sunday.
Hey,
Hey,
can I leave this?
yeah, what is it?
The office is converting its printers. They were going to toss this paper, and I thought maybe the school could use it.
Wait, Mo, you're not staying?
I can't. I have a meeting half an hour ago.
But Justine's been trying to get a hold of you. There's some big flu epidemic at the school.
Okay. She could leave a message on my machine?
She has.
Ray, I don't know. She's a big girl. She'll figure it out. Bye-bye.
But Mo, there's...
You wanted to see me?
I can't find my scissors.
So, how would I know?
You straightened up here last night.
I straightened up a little. They're where they always are.
In my pencil holder. They're not there.
Maybe somebody took them, Martin.
Rachel, if it makes you feel better to rearrange the things on my desk, by all means do so. I would prefer, however, instead of this passive-aggressive behavior, a more direct confrontation.
I hate you. I wish you would leave, and I wish Mo was back. Is that better? Your scissors are in the top right-hand drawer next to the Scotch tape.
Hey. My cousin Nan just called. Her temperature's 104. She has the flu.
Yeah.
She's a size 4, like you.
And?
Oh, come on. It'll be so great to have a friend in the wedding.
Would I get to walk down the aisle with somebody cute?
I can give you the cute one.
Yeah.
The cute one's Hank, and he's mine. Please.
Okay.
Okay, it's going to be a little weird. Because we have a rabbi for Hank's family, a mass for my family, and we don't really know who's coming.
A mass.
But the dress is great. Of course, who's going to see you in it? Thanks, Rachel.
Mass.
Coffee cake, Father Ray?
No, thanks.
Christina, we need to talk about this.
There's nothing to talk about. I'm not going. Why are you beating the drum for this? I thought you were a Catholic priest.
Your daughter and Hank love each other. I think that's precious.
It wasn't that long ago that a mixed marriage in our family meant marrying an Italian. This is a big stretch.
When Leo was pastor, this never would have happened.
Look, I know you love your daughter.
Damn right. I love my daughter. That's the point. My only daughter. 4 sons and 1 daughter. I have plans for Cecil. For her wedding, for her life, and they don't include this boy.
What about Cecil's plans?
Cecil's Catholic. We're Catholic. People aren't supposed to get mixed up. They're supposed to stay who they are. And I want to spend Christmas under the tree with my family. I don't want to learn about Hanukkah.
Sydney!
Hey, what is that? This is a chuppah. It's a wedding canopy. That which covers or floats above. It's a sign of God's presence at the ceremony.
Wow.
On the chuppah, I can't find a rabbi. Oh, would you take this to the kitchen for me? I'll be right there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. Hello, this is Sidney Walters. Hello? Rabbi? Oh, thank you for calling me back. I appreciate it. Uh-huh. Well, no, I'm sorry you feel that way, but look, is there anybody else that you could recommend to help us out? Hello? Rabbi?
I'm sorry, I can't come to the wedding. I've met Cecil. I like her. She is just the sort of girl I would have picked for Hank. Just not Jewish.
Well, Hank isn't exactly a Jewish name.
My late husband, Eli, his parents, when Hank was born, they wanted Hank to be named after Eli's grandfather. Well, Eli's father's name was Moshe Aaron. Eli said no, there was a terrible fight, and then Eli suggested a compromise. Hank Aaron. You know, the ball player.
Mrs. Owens, there must be some way we can work this out.
I wish I'd done more. I mean, Eli and I, we weren't that religious. We went to temple on high holy days. We had Hank bar mitzvahed. It's my fault.
Look, I'm not here to tell you raised your son the wrong way.
Yeah, but if I had given him more of a Jewish identity, if I'd baked challah, if I lit candles on Shabbat, maybe he wouldn't have had to look someplace else.
Don't be so sure about that.
No. Hank is not getting married in your church. Not to that girl.
Cecil and I are getting married on Sunday, Grandpa. You tell me I never make up my mind to do anything? This time I have. I love this girl. The way you love Grandma, the way my parents loved each other. Now, we want you to be there with us on Sunday, but if you can't...
Can't? I won't. End of subject. You're gonna let this priest stay here in your kitchen?
Stop. Don't be rude.
Mr. Owens, please, I'd like to tell you what I know about Hank and Cecil.
I think I know more about my grandson than you do. The girl I'm not interested in. There is nothing you can tell me that will change my mind. Even if the girl decides to convert, it's still not enough.
Well, then I'll convert.
Oh, Hank, you're not going to convert.
Why not? I'm in love with Cecil. This is my life. You're my family. You're supposed to be supporting me.
We are supporting you. We are trying to help you. We want you to make the right decision.
The decision is made, Mom. I'm marrying Cecil. That's it.
What would your father say if he heard you talking like this?
If my father had met Cecil and gotten to know her, he would love her as much as I do. What do I have to do to convert, Father Ray?
Nothing Sacred will continue in a moment here on ABC. Well, no, I'm not practicing, Rabbi. No, I don't believe in God. That's my... Yeah. Rabbi? You know, this is not easy. I mean, I gotta tell you.
Were you ever bar mitzvah, Sydney?
No.
You wish you had been? And do you miss it?
I don't know. You know, there's beauty in religion. I love the ritual and the smells, songs, you know. Erev shel Shoshanim, Netzena el Habustan.
The Evening of the Roses.
That's the name?
Mm-hmm. I took Hebrew as an elective.
Oh, really? They sang that at my wedding.
Really?
You think I was still married the way I'm carrying on here? I gotta get cracking and find a rabbi.
Sydney, you know, you're less of an atheist than you think you are.
Hey,
Hello.
Eric,
Mm-hmm.
can I ask you a question?
Hey, yeah, shoot.
If you're going to be in a wedding, and you're going to be in front of the whole congregation, and everybody's looking at you, and everybody else receives communion, and you don't, is that bad?
No, that's no problem at all. I mean, you got to do what you feel.
Really?
Really. Of course, everybody watching is going to think you've done a horrendous thing, and that you're living in mortal sin. You'll probably burn in hell forever, but other...
Yeah, I know.
Something you want to talk about, Rach?
Maybe. I'll come get you if I need you.
Okay. See ya.
wanted this wedding to be a balance. Priest, mass for Cecil and her family, the rabbi, the huppah for my family. I thought they could all fit together.
They don't, really.
My family thinks I'm rebelling against something, which is sort of stupid because I don't have anything to rebel against.
Your tradition?
What tradition? Yeah, okay, I was bar mitzvahed, but that's it. I mean, we lit Hanukkah candles and we had a Christmas tree. I always wanted to know what communion was all about.
That's probably the most sacred thing to us. We believe that when you receive the host, you take the real presence of God into your hand and into your heart.
Maybe that's what I'm missing, Father Ray. I want a presence. I want to know there's something out there. The fact that Cecil believes in something, maybe I was kind of hoping some of that might rub off on me.
Well, you know, just because Cecil believes in this church doesn't mean you have to.
I'm not going to convert, Father Ray.
I didn't think you were. That's Cecil.
There's some people here to see you.
In my office.
Not exactly.
Would you like to come inside where it's warmer?
What we have to say, we can say right here. I want you to talk to that girl. She doesn't understand what she's doing. She's destroying our family.
Mr. Owens.
And you don't understand either. And we don't expect you to. Your church, they never listened. They turned a deaf ear. All the screaming in the world. They heard nothing, did nothing. Hank was my only grandson. If he marries that girl, it's the end. 50 years ago, the family was big. I had aunts and uncles, so many. All dead. I'm the only son. My son Eli, and now Hank.
We don't want the line to end, but it will, unless Hank marries a Jewish girl.
Mr. and Mrs. Owens, I believe Hank and Cecil will get married no matter what anyone else tells me. And I know it would mean a great deal to them if both of you are here to witness the wedding.
All my years, I never set foot in a church, and I never will.
Rabbi. He's going to be here any second.
Where'd you find him?
It was a brainstorm. I looked on the web.
Got a rabbi on a website?
Yeah, it's totally legit. Rabbi Fisher, really, coming any second.
Look, the florist called. Yeah. The sprinkler system ruined their entire inventory. Now, what am I going to do? There's a chuppah in the kitchen. Mazel tov.
Ray, can I talk to you a minute?
Oh, well, Mo, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, Ray, don't be a jerk. I really need to talk to you.
No, it wasn't a good time. Have you seen Justine? She's looking for you.
Ray?
Look, I can't, all right? Leave a message on my machine.
You don't have a machine.
Rabbi Fisher. Judith.
Father Renaud. Ray.
Nice.
Won't you sit down?
Ray, the rabbi's
Judith Fisher. Are you Sidney Walters? It's nice to meet you.
Go, Sidney. It may already be too late.
Nice to meet you, too. Thanks for the, Anyway.
Sidney is Jewish, working in church.
Yeah, that's okay. He's an atheist.
I've never done an interfaith wedding before. My responsibility is to marry Jews. You are consecrated to me with this ring according to the traditions of Moses in Israel. How could a non-Jew make that kind of vow?
So why are you here?
My best friend married a Catholic. I couldn't do the ceremony, so she got married by a justice of the peace, and I've watched Judaism slowly slip away from her life. If I'd done the ceremony, I need to meet Hank and Cecil as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm meeting with the families tomorrow night. I could use another ambassador.
That's how ominous. What do you think, Ray? Does this feel like the right thing?
What's the wrong thing? I'm not even sure I'd know.
Okay, why don't we get started? Does anybody have any questions for us?
A woman rabbi. What's next, the dancing bear?
Grandpa, please don't.
You should see the church. It's very beautiful, and it was built in 1906.
Hank is not getting married in a church in front of a statue of Jesus.
No, because we can't have the wedding in the church. We have to have it in the parish hall.
Hank is getting married under a chuppah.
And Shiva Brachot. We need to have the 7 blessings of marriage.
We figured all this out, Grandma. We're going to have a little of both.
A little of both? What is this, a salad? This is a wedding. You don't pick a little of this, a little of that.
My daughter and your grandson worked very hard on this service.
Don't try to sprinkle me with your holy water.
No one's trying to sprinkle anything on you, Mr. Owens. We just want to make this work out.
Okay. Judith and I want to talk to you about the service.
I want a New Testament reading.
No, Mom, we talked about this.
How can you not believe in the New Testament?
And no kneeling. Why do I have to kneel? Jews don't believe in kneeling.
You don't have to kneel. Cecil used to date a nice boy. You remember Michael, a good Catholic boy.
Michael's divorced. Twice.
I wish Cecil had married him, too.
Ma, don't go there.
Hank, you're a good-looking boy. Won't you find a Jewish girl?
Grandpa, what did we ever do that made us Jewish? Your last name was Oretsky. You changed it to Owens. What does that mean? I could be Moishe Oretsky. I'm not. I'm Hank Owens.
This is all your fault, Ray. You could have stopped it.
Where are you going?
I'm going home. I'm going to get my clothes.
No, you're not. We're going to stay here until this is all settled.
I'm leaving now. There's nothing to settle.
Christina, please. I think we all just need to calm down.
And what about the baby? What happens when they have a baby?
No, Cecil.
What baby? Who's talking about a baby?
No one, Ma.
Is there a baby? There can't be a baby.
Cecil's pregnant.
My daughter's baby will be Catholic because she's Catholic.
And my son is Jewish. So if he wants, he can raise the baby Jewish.
No, he can't. Cecil had to sign the form. She promised to raise the baby Catholic.
Cecil has promised to try to do all in her power to raise the baby Catholic. You know, that doesn't mean excluding the baby from learning about Jewish traditions.
If the mother is not Jewish, the baby can never be Jewish. It's the end of the Owens family.
Well, that's not necessarily true, Mr. Owens. They could agree to raise the baby Jewish.
A woman rabbi, like she knows, the baby is not Jewish, never will be Jewish. Our family is lost.
Cecil and I talked. Everybody's right. We're not getting married. We called it off. I hope you're all happy.
Well, we've just managed to recreate 2,000 years of anger right here in this living room. Who needs the Spanish Inquisition, right?
Have you come to tell me that you hate me again?
I want to go to confession.
To me?
I thought this might be easier with someone that I don't like.
Oh, very well. Let's take a moment to put ourselves in the presence of God.
I hid your damn scissors, I fight with my mother all the time, and I had an abortion.
You know, Rachel, I get shocked in confession all the time, but it's never by the sins. They're pretty standard. What shocks me is people's courage and their goodness.
and how hard it is to leave the past behind.
I don't even know why I'm here. I haven't been to communion in a long time, and I need to go.
The need to feel included. I have some experience with that.
No. It's just that I'm part of Cecil's wedding tomorrow. And if I don't go to communion, everybody's going to think I've got this big red A tattooed on me. And I don't even know why I cared. It was stupid for me to even come here. You think this is funny?
No, I think God is funny. There's no communion at the wedding, Rachel, if that's why you came to confession. You didn't have to.
Great.
How long have you been carrying this around? You know, Rachel, if you thought this would be easier with someone you didn't like, you're not likely to find anyone you like less than me. You know, who knows? Maybe that's why God put me here in the first place.
God, I hope not.
So what do you want to do?
Because I want to make it official. Deal with the part of God that hates me.
No part of God hates you.
How about you?
How about you?
Hey, you busy? I'm guessing you're not. So, they've offered me a permanent job. Great benefits, vacation,
Salary?
almost double.
Yeah.
I like the people there. I have an assistant. It's a guy. Brings me coffee, Xeroxes for me.
Well, I could bring you coffee. I'd even Xerox for you. I tell you what, you take my job, I take yours.
Is that an offer? So, I hear the wedding is off?
Very off.
Must be relieved.
No, actually, the two people who should be together won't because their parents think it's not a perfect union. On top of that, the girl's pregnant.
Oh, no. Well, this is getting better by the moment. Now, these parents, they have the perfect marriages, I gather.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny that when parents want what is best for their kids, they invent for themselves these kind of perfect Disneyland paths? I mean, they had no trouble along the way?
What do you mean?
Do these kids love one another?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they weren't made in a vacuum. Their parents and their parents obviously loved each other. That's what they need to get to. The love. I would start with that and not worry about the rest. Make sense?
So what if somebody Xeroxes for you? This is what you do best, Mom. Remember that.
On our first date, Tim took me to an ice skating rink. I assumed he was a good skater because why else would you take somebody to an ice skating rink? But he was terrible, falling all over the place. I mean, really awful. So finally I asked him, I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I wanted you to see me at my worst first, so after that it would all be smooth sailing." Is that the kind of thing you wanted?
I met him in the market. Sam was squeezing lemons. So I said to him, I said, "You're squeezing too hard. You're squeezing all the juice out. You have nothing to take home."
Who was squeezing? You were squeezing.
So he asked me how come I knew so much about lemons. So I said to him, I could make a lemon strudel like nobody's business. Can you believe that this little old lady here was such a flirt?
We go to the park in the summer and sit by the pool. And I'd connect her freckles with a pen. I'd draw the Big Dipper or the Eiffel Tower. She'd get so mad at me.
every year, on my birthday, he'd plant a rose bush, a different color. Our whole garden, different color roses. And when we moved, Eli dug them all up, all 13 of them, and planted them here. And then 15 more in this house. Married 28 years. And just before he died, he said to me, "You won't miss me. You're going to be too busy taking care of those damn rose bushes."
What do you remember most about your wedding?
When my dad was walking me down the aisle, I remember seeing Tim at the other end, and he looked so handsome and so tall. And, well, like he was shining. And I was thinking, how could I love somebody so much? And then my first child was born, and how could I love somebody so much? And my boys, and then my little girl. It's amazing, isn't it, Father Ray? How much love there is to go around. You'd think maybe sometime it would just have to give out.
All this love in the room, all this love in the world, like Christina says, does it ever run out?
For love is stronger than death, says the Song of Songs. Its passion is mightier than eternity. Nothing Sacred will be right back on ABC.
I think you're supposed to smile more on your wedding day. Nervous much?
Maybe Mother was right. Maybe people aren't supposed to do this.
Get married when they love each other? Just totally wrong. It's gonna be okay. Just when you think that everything's all horrible and impossible, things change. They do. If they change for me, they'll change for you.
I don't think we're supposed to keep doing this.
Doing what?
Removing ourselves from the past. Is it really that important to fit in? Maybe we should just stay who we are.
Christina, aren't you going to get dressed?
I can't be with you in there tonight. Not in person. But by giving you this, I can be with you in spirit. This palace belonged to my father, his father. It goes back, I don't know how far. If you have this, maybe you can think about who you are.
inside, Hank. I'll be with you in spirit and in person.
Hello, princess. Look at you.
Oh, Daddy. Where's Mom?
Well, I got her in the car, and we made it all the way to the parking lot, but she won't get out. Hey, everything's gonna be okay. Huh? There are so many people out there who love you tonight. Well, of course, no one more than I do. So when you see me out there, you just be thinking that I'm representing both your parents, okay?
Okay.
All right. I'll see you out there.
That's good.
Just a second.
Excuse me. Would you like to sit with me?
Right. Thank you.
How many of them made it?
Well, let's see. You have your bride and your groom's mother, bride's father, bride's grandfather, and groom's grandmother.
Missing one bride's mother and one groom's grandfather. Oh, well, can't win them all. You know, I hate weddings, but with the exception of missing family members, this one's gonna be all right. Might actually like this one.
Wouldn't tempt God, right?
Ray, I have a problem. I just read your homily. It's the wedding feast at Cana. That's New Testament. It's unacceptable.
I just thought we'd start with that as an example.
What is this ceremony, finally? It's half of this, it's half of that, yet you end up with nothing. I'm having a really hard time getting my head around this whole thing.
Well, forgetting the whole thing for just a sec, could you just get me through the beginning?
What are you going to preach on?
I'll wing it. What was it I said before about liking weddings? Showtime. Good luck. Good luck.
There's a mystical legend that all the souls of all the people of the earth are waiting for someone to be born. When a girl is born, the soul is split. Half of it enters into her, and when the time comes, the other half of the soul enters into the body of a baby boy. These two souls are destined to be united. These souls are bashert, meant to be. All the ancestors that have come before you have made this unique combination of souls possible.
Welcome. As you come into the huppah, the canopy of marriage. One thing I know I'm not going to say is if anybody has any objections, let them speak now. Two traditions. So different. So at odds. Christianity owes everything to Judaism, and yet, at times, over the years, at regular intervals, they've tried to destroy the religion that gave it birth, and in ways that perhaps can never be forgiven. Can something as insubstantial as the love of a young woman and a young man bring these traditions together, even for a moment? Some people would say that this marriage should not even be celebrated. Well, I wonder. Because there once was a Jewish man who was struck by the beauty and grace of a woman named Ruth. Now, Ruth was not Jewish by birth, but she had a great and generous heart. And Boaz loved her, and he married her. And who would not celebrate a child from this union? For their child was called Obed. He was the father of Jesse, and he was the father of David. And from the line of David came Jesus. Not bad. And who could not celebrate such a union? And who knows what will come of this union, but we can hope. For any marriage is an act of hope. An insane, outrageous act of hope against anything that separates us. Fires, floods, even religions. We can hope. Cecilia and Hank, in the presence of us all, I ask you to state your intentions. Have you come here freely and without reservation to give yourselves to each other in marriage? Will you honor each other as husband and wife the rest of your lives?
I will.
I will.
The breaking of the glass, it symbolizes many things. The destruction of the temple, which is a reminder of sorrow, but it's also an expression of hope. In ancient times, they believed that the sound of a glass breaking would drive demons away. So with the shattering of this glass, Hank is protecting Cecil, just as Cecil protected him by circling him at the beginning of the service.
May God bless you and keep you. May God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Shalom.
May God's presence be with you and give you peace.
Amen. Mazel tov. Mazel
Francis, it's me. I'm surprised you're home. It's good to hear your voice. I'm here at a wedding, and it made me think of you. Is this familiar? It's